episode of Cinematorium. I'm your host, Joel.
And I'm Laura.
And we are the Newlydeads, and I realized I'm looking right here at the OtterBox logo and not here at the hole.
The hole.
The hole where we shoot the videos. And we're doing this on cinematic to try and continue with our hopefully nice trend, although I found out that it tended to blur out the Bailey here. And it kept our faces in focus, so I don't know what's going to happen because we can't see what's happening. What we're seeing is the back of the camera. So anyway, for the entire month of December, we decided we were going to watch nothing but holiday horror every Friday. This is week 2. And this week, I have, since I can't use my phone, I'm using
Christmas, bloody Christmas.
My tablet. She's right on the money. We watched Christmas, Bloody Christmas. Brand new, just hit Shudder today, actually, I think. I believe it also is, it has a dual in theaters. She doesn't have her glasses on, so she can't see that it says see showtimes, because it is actually playing in the theaters, although, question mark, whether you'd want to go see it in the theater? I don't know. We'll get to that point, I guess. But this is a partially produced Shudder film. Featuring a killer robot Santa. What?
Mm-hmm.
And I will include right in here somewhere a poster for the film, so you can see the I don't know where it's going to be exactly yet, but so you can see the image, because we're going to get back to that in a minute. But this was written and directed by Joe Begos, who I did take some notes here since my phone was up there. I'm using my tablet. He directed Bliss, which we've not seen yet, but is on my list of things to watch, and VFW, which is on the shelf.
We've seen.
Remember that?
Yes.
With all the vets of foreign wars that are in the building, and they're being attacked by the
Yes.
Kind of reminds me a little bit of like a Brawl in Cell Block 99 or Dragged Across Concrete sort of thing. Where they're kind of going for a 70s style grindhouse kind of throwback, at least in VFW. This one, I feel like they were doing the same thing, but with differing results. Because we liked VFW for the most part, I think.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of who it was in the lead that we liked, that was in Don't Breathe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was that guy.
I'm drawing a blank on his name. Candace, if you're watching, please let us know, because I know you're a fan of his, but I'm drawing a blank on his name. You're looking up on your phone. But anyway, so yeah, there's a killer Santa. It's Christmas Eve. It's snowing. There's a woman who owns a record store and her employee that are out having a drink. Stephen Lang. There you go. Thank you. And they go visit their friends that are in a toy store, and the toy store is where the Santa is located. This decommissioned military.
Yeah, I didn't hear that part.
Robot.
Yeah, I liked the beginning a lot with the weird ads.
The very, very beginning. Yeah, they definitely going for a grindhouse kind of feel.
Throwback.
Yeah, with ever since Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez did Grindhouse, people have tried to kind of bite on that style, and this definitely was in that same vein. Which, if you're making excuse me, I've got a hair going on my nose. If you're making a low budget horror movie, it forgives a lot because it's grainy. It's kind of, there's some missing frames occasionally. There's some static. Yep, there's some burned
holes,
cells, cinema. Yeah, there's, and that, so whenever you're watching it, you can kind of, and it can be a little darker. It can be a little grittier, and you don't notice as much some of the things that you might notice if you had a super high quality digital sort of thing happening.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I do agree with you about the beginning. I felt like there was a little bit too much kind of, again, swinging back to Tarantino, kind of, we're going to have a lot of hip conversation back and forth between the characters.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of conversation.
Yeah.
For a horror movie, there was a lot of conversation.
A lot of conversation.
Which is fine if you're establishing the characters and want to care about them. But then when you immediately start killing off those same characters within the first 10 minutes of the film, it feels like.
Yeah. And their conversations made me not really care about them.
I mean, it's almost like if when I was in film school and I was writing my first screenplay, I was trying to put in stuff that made me sound educated and hip and cool and whatever else, and it felt like that's kind of like what they were doing, like hey, I worked in a record store, so I can talk about record store stuff.
Yeah, I had a feeling, yes, that you would have some strong opinions on on them because of that, because he did work at a record store.
I did. I ran a record store for 6 years and shopped at many record stores in my day, and worked at a video store, and et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, I mean, I've had those same conversations, but unless you're another record store employee, those conversations don't really hold as much weight, or unless you have somebody else that you're talking to that is equally as into music as you are, it's not going to be interesting or exciting. And they go on like that for
a really long time.
Yeah. The two main characters in the beginning, that's the first, like, up until they start, that's all there is, really. There's a lot of talk with an occasional kind of back thing going on in the background. Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that accurate?
Yeah.
And they also have the shots that they have, the establishing shots and things are just like super long. I don't need to see somebody walking down the entire flight of stairs. You can just show them at the top, show them at the bottom, move on, right?
Yep.
Which I'm not always the best with the editing on here, because it's a little tricky editing on your cell phone. So sometimes my shots might run a little long, but
I mean, something tells me they weren't editing it on a cell phone.
No. I mean, the quality of the film was not Marvel Cinematic Universe quality of filmmaking. I mean, film quality. I mean, or digital quality, whatever. But it was it was above a video camera and above a standard cell phone. There were lots of people that died with their heads being crushed, smushed, or otherwise impaled in some fashion.
Chopped in half. Not chopped in half.
Yep. And there was one death. There was some death with sisters. There was one death in particular that was a little surprising. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it happens, but usually it's off screen, and this time it was sort of half off screen.
Yeah.
But not really.
They didn't really show it, but
kind of, sort of. There were a lot of bad decisions that were made by characters, which happens in horror movies. The Killer Santa was played by Kubiak from
ER.
ER and Parker Lewis Can't Lose, if you're familiar with either one of those shows. The character's name is, his last name is Ben Rubin, but I can't remember his first name now all of a sudden. Jeremy, Josh, Jimmy Jojo, Shabadoo. I'm looking up Abraham Ben Ruby, which, if you're familiar with either of those, you know exactly who I'm talking about, because he's 6'7". Two of the main characters are 6'5". So there's a lot of big people. Jonah Ray was in it, and Jeff Daniel Phillips, who are both tall gentlemen.
Tall peeps.
But they didn't really use that to their advantage. Like, I was expecting like a standoff between the two characters, because I'm like, okay, you got these three guys that are all almost 7 feet tall, or closer to 7 foot than we are.
6.5.
Yeah, it never even came into play. The height advantage or disadvantage wasn't a thing.
Nope.
And the one girl that was super short didn't last long enough to. Yeah, anyway, it was kind of silly. One thing that was kind of annoying, and this happens a lot with movies, is where and especially back in the 80s, you have a poster that shows something, and you're expecting to see that thing in the movie at some point.
Yes. And it didn't happen.
Like the shot-on-video trend that happened in the mid-'80s to the mid-'90s, that's how they sold movies, was with the cover art, and that's how people sell books and albums and things like that. But it was a big thing, and those things never happen in the movie. I haven't seen that as much lately, but it happened here.
Yeah.
I was disappointed.
Yeah, very. He was very, very disappointed.
Because
I could just tell.
When I knew it was a robot Santa, I was like, okay, interesting. And then on the poster, there's this robot Santa with his half missing face and these glowing green eyes, and he's looking kind of like badass, and he's gonna ready to just step on some heads. What did we get instead?
Green chin.
We get a glowing green chin.
Lots of green chin.
So Jeff Begos, I don't know what happened. Your special effects and storytelling in VFW were on point. Here, we got a lot of chin. I mean, the guy blew up and was on fire twice.
And you would have thought that, like, his face would have melted off, or, like, you know, he would have just all been, you know, like, from the first time that he got set on fire, you know.
Something.
Yeah.
But instead, the chin just kept getting more exposed. And so you see the Santa with this beard with this little missing patch here of green glowing. And the rest of him is fine. Until the very end, in which you get the T-1000 Terminator look. And then you get the green eyes. And at that point,
not cool.
I didn't care anymore.
They were bad.
Yeah. I mean, you could tell that the effects were limiting, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that so much, especially with...
yeah, but I did not like the eyes at the end.
The Psycho Gorman crew, you know, that makes all those movies that I cannot think of the name of right now. I'm not going to look it up because that's not interesting to you guys. But anyway, look them up. Who did like Manborg and some of those other kind of lower budget things. Those special effects work in that, and that's kind of what I felt like it was, but it didn't mesh with the rest of it. And if it's a military robot, and it's been running around in the snow, why would water suddenly affect it at that point? And it didn't affect it the rest of the time.
Because it was injured.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean, is that the
yeah.
the takeaway?
Yeah.
The Santa Neto. But I mean, you know, all in all, it's very pretty to look at. Lots of vibrant colors.
Yeah. It's like dark though, so it was nighttime a lot.
You said you didn't care for the main character.
No.
There is a final girl, but yeah, she wasn't as likable as you'd want to have for a main character, and the characters that were likable were gone really quickly.
I don't know if any of them were likable.
I mean more so than some of the other people. I mean, yeah, for the most part, there was a lot of confusion and strange situations and odd setups and payoffs and no payoffs and lots of very talented people involved that weren't really utilized to their best of their abilities.
Yes. That I feel like, yes.
I mean, did we hate it?
No.
But did it feel like it was longer than an hour and 21 minutes to you?
Yes.
Which is strange.
Not at first. I was like, man, this is really going fast. And, you know, I was like, I feel like it's over.
Yeah.
And then it just kept going. And I was like, oh.
And then as the herd thinned from 5 to 7, or 5 to, I'm going the wrong way, 5 to 3 to 1 to 1 to 1 to 1 still. And it just, you know, just kept being Sarah Connor and the Terminator is what it kind of felt like.
Mm-hmm.
And then the very, very end was very unsatisfying. I even rewound it to make sure I didn't miss something. The very last shot.
Oh.
I was like, did I miss something between here and here?
Yeah, no. Mm-mm.
No. It just kind of... Yeah, I don't know what happened between this and VFW. And I've heard good things about Bliss, so at some point maybe we'll talk about it on here. We'll have to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
To see if it's somewhere in between the two. But yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm
glad we watched it.
Yeah, and I mean it's brand new, so you know we're not giving away anything with the ending. I hope we didn't give away anything with the ending. Streaming on Shudder right now. If you have Shudder, if you don't, you should get it. If you like horror movies,
yes,
especially if you're like Joe Bob. And it is also streaming in the theaters,
which is really streaming in the theaters.
Okay. It's playing in the theaters. It is currently playing.
They're streaming it.
But you know,
from
you can
Shudder.
That's probably what's happening. You know, it's a cheaper way to get the movie out there. Nobody's going to notice because it's kind of gritty and grungy anyway.
Yeah.
But you could go do a double feature with this and Violent Night and just be set. be set for the weekend.
I would have done that.
And then when you're at it, go see Wakanda Forever.
Forever.
We all enjoyed that one.
Yeah, it was good.
That was a good one. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. So, all right, unless you have any other thoughts, I feel like I monopolized these.
No, I think you did. You did a good job summarizing.
You said I think you did.
No, I think you did
Freudian
a good job.
slip.
No, I said I think you did a good job summarizing it.
I just, want to make sure you're getting your 2 cents in, and I feel like I'm used to doing things on my own.
Yeah, so. I mean, like you said, it's I don't know, like not exactly perfect, but also still entertaining. Yeah.
For an hour and 20 minutes.
I didn't love the main character or any of the characters for that matter, so it's like I wasn't caring if they lived or died. You know what I mean? Like,
even the robot was kind of like,
yeah. If he would have had, not such a big giant chin of green.
Maybe a little dialogue besides. I mean, he says "ho ho" a couple times, maybe. Like
he
twice.
said, "Comes down Santa's lap."
Oh yeah, and that's it. That's like all he had, like 2 lines of dialogue. Otherwise, he was just like walking around, POV shots. And
I didn't quite understand like
lots
how
of weed.
he knew how to get around,
where to go,
where
she lived, why he's picking on her.
Why? Yeah,
the main character.
It's kind of strange.
Maybe he was just really anti-marijuana because she was smoking weed
the
entire
time and drinking and driving.
Lots of weed and booze throughout the entire film. At least, actually, there's one likable character, the bartender, and he didn't die.
I did like the bartender.
He didn't die. Family man.
I know, and I mean, I like the police officers, I guess.
I mean, we didn't get a whole lot. The shotgun was cool. I mean, I would have watched the movie if the shotgun was a lead.
Yeah.
He was pretty cool. So anyway.
So what would you give it out of
what's
5?
You're always good at this part. This is like your thing. This is where you shine.
Yeah, I have to think because I think about the movie. 5 mall Santas.
Was he in a mall though?
Yeah, he was a mall Santa, remember?
He was at TW Bonkers.
I know, and the mall.
And the mall? And the mall? So he's a mall Santa?
He's a mall Santa.
A mall and a night visitor.
Out of 5 mall Santas.
Out of 5 mall, okay.
Unless we're going to watch Chopping Mall.
Giant. Ooh, I like Chopping. Chopping Mall's on the shelf over there. I got the goods.
He does have the goods.
The goods. And Chopping Mall doesn't have any Santas in it or chopping. It's all killer robots that shoot lasers at people. Oh, I guess they have like a buzzsaw. There's not really much chopping. It's not what it... Anyway, that's another show. Okay, so out of 5 mall Santas, because I think Shaggy's got to go outside.
He's just wandering around.
He's like, I gotta go, man. I would give it 2.5. What'd you do? 2? I couldn't see your hand. Sorry.
2.
Yeah, I feel bad about that, but I just.
I mean, like I said, I don't know if I'd watch it again.
Jackie is currently watching Jack M. Crazyfish, our Chinese algae eater, who's swimming by. He's like, got his ears perked up, and he's like, just watching him swim by. It's entertaining. It's like the TV. Anyway, you don't know if you'd watch it again? I probably wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going
It's not going to be on the shelf.
Not unless you want to show it to somebody.
Even then, no.
Yeah.
No, there's no need. Nobody else.
Oh, right.
I mean, if you guys want to watch it, like I said, we would say it's worth your hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But I'd rather watch VFW again if I had the choice between the two. So.
I agree.
All right. Well, if you'd like to find us at thenewlydeads.com. Our home away from home, there are 2, 4.
Math? He's mathing.
There's 8 new things on the site, 4 prints and 4 stickers.
Mm-hmm.
I believe.
Should make those into a pattern for you.
And she may make them into a pattern for me. So if you go over to thenewlydeads.com, check them out. Those are uploaded on the site. I'm going to start working on getting some more stuff on there because we had to kind of get our feet wet, and I made some mistakes, and my wife figured it out and fixed it. We started a new series of things. We have a lot of things that you guys have never seen. Lots of stuff. But she gave me a suggestion of something that she wanted to try, and I've been doing my little hand at my own version of it.
Your little hand?
And I've already got my strong hand. I've already got
Your little hand.
5 designs
Crappy little hand.
done in what, 2 days?
Yeah.
That
Yeah, I'm proud of you.
I'm pretty happy with.
Yeah, I dig them. It was my idea.
It was your idea, and then I figured out
He's just good at coming up with things. Yes, he is.
a way to possibly turn them into something fun, kind of borrowing from some of our other artists that we enjoy to maybe kind of do some sort of like version of something else, but it's our own thing, because she thought of the idea and I can't find any other ones that are similar to what we're doing. But anyway, you'll find out soon enough. All right, so I'm Joel.
I'm Laura.
We're the Newlydeads.
Crazy Winkins.
And we will see you on next Friday's episode of Cinematorium. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.